Pisces. I'm a popcorn creator. I didn't plan this. Spirit's just like, hey, go out and do a live. So here we are. We're going to be doing a little bit of an attunement. And if you have questions about anything, throw them in the comments while we're kind of chilling for a second. And the replay, I'll cut this whole beginning part out, but we'll give this until like 4:35, and then we will do a little empowerment. So cool. Amber, how you doing? I'm so glad to catch you here. Amber is just saying hello. Thank you so much for being here. I always love your avatar with the Ewok. That's just like really cool. Really cool. And if you haven't been following on TikTok, I have been doing a lot of content creation. Every day I've been doing a 2-card tarot reading. You know what? We can talk about that while I'm waiting for a few people. Let me show you what the reading was from today. It was freaking amazing. And if you watch my video, you could see like when I pulled this first card, I was like, oh, I don't like this card at all. Why did that come up? So here's me this morning. I'm shuffling the deck with my runic tarot, and the first card comes out. And I'm like, it's 8 of Pentacles, and then I'm like, I don't like that, because my intention was right there, is like, what does your soul most want to come through? And I'm looking for like a major arcana and all this stuff. And normally when I do my tree of life readings, I have the cards all separated, and I'm not used to good, not goo. Oh, I missed the first comment, so I didn't even see the goo part. So Amber said, good energy has been very dense lately, but today it feels so good. So much positivity today. There really is like this morphic field of possibility. And it's perfect timing, because we got other morphic fields going on in other parts of the world that perhaps we can do a harmonic anchor collapse of the things that we would like not to see in the world. And let's really just have like a message. I might post a recording. I was like driving, and all of a sudden I start channeling, and this being's coming through like talking, and I ended up starting to record it on my phone, so that was good. Probably shouldn't be doing that while I'm driving. But anyway, one of the messages that this being was saying is like, just sit with your friends. And I did this for a client earlier today, exactly at 2:22, so the timing was good, but it doesn't have to be at the time. It doesn't really matter. But just sitting for a couple minutes, call it 2 minutes and 22 seconds, whatever, and just be an allowance of the totality of creation, everything that shows up in your world, everything that, and when I say allowance, you're not saying this is wrong in the world, you're not saying this is great in the world, you're just saying, cool, this showed up, no point of view about it. And in that space, what we're doing is we're taking the law of this duality that says for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, and this is the fight that we are in this polarity. Because if I had a piece of paper and there was one person in each side, and I move it like this, to one person it looks like it moved left, to one person it looks like it moved right, and both are correct based on a point of view, perspective, and a filter. That's what's happening in the world. People, some see left, some see right, some see forward, some see backward, some see whatever, and we're all seeing what's true for us based on our reality, and then arguing about who's right and wrong. It's all right from our own point of view. So allowance gives us the space of not judging what's showing up, not judging it as wrong, not judging it as good, not judging it as bad, not judging it at all, just being cool. Look what showed up. Who do I get to be now in creationship with what showed up? That's the only thing we really have to worry about, is who do I choose to be now based on what showed up? And I hope you all choose to be awesome and loving and an allowance. We have someone else saying happy 222. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna get a little sound empowerment going here in a minute. This is like me stalling just to get more people like in the energy. But this morning on the TikTok, I did a 3-minute tarot pull, and that's what I was about to go over. Then I got distracted with talking, because if you haven't seen me before, like, I talk a lot. So I got 8 of Pentacles, and I was all like, oh, I don't like this at all. But then I realized that 8 of Pentacles, just like all 7s are victory, like all 8s are falling back in a way, or being more reserved with energy. But it's in this case, what I felt was really warranted by this card is, when you're looking to create with the energy of today, do it with the totality of you, the good, the bad, the ugly. Do it with all of you. Because it's like, okay, well, I have 10% of my shit figured out. So with the 10% that I'm okay with me, I'm going to create in the world with that 10%. It's like running your car with like one cylinder. Like, you wouldn't do that. Like, all the cylinders, it might not be perfect, but it's going to run a lot better using all your cylinders in one, right? So like, come as you are. Don't be an allowance of you. That whole thing I just said about being an allowance of the world, that goes double for you. Like, everything that you have experienced is all beautiful contrast for the soul. That's what makes life like so interesting is like based on everything you've experienced up until this point, you have this amazing wonderment because of the polarities and the gradients and all the things that show up. It's like, wow, I can appreciate this ever present moment of now in such a unique way based on all the contrast. I'm so thankful for my past. Maybe that doesn't roll off the tongue for everybody, but that is really the space to be. Yo. I've been saying yo a lot, and I'm not even watching Breaking Bad or anything. But anyway, so come as you are. Use the totality view to like really create. The next card I got was the Fool. Whoops, spoiler alert. The last card I got was the Queen of Wands. Like the next card I got was the Fool. And this is like the idea that the Fool, well, there's a whole bunch of ancient meanings behind it, but like what we're going with today is like the magic lies within. Unlike the magician who has all his tools at the ready, who has a hand in both worlds, manifesting divinity on the physical plane, the Fool is just going through life knowing, trusting that, he will arrive home, that we're all walking each other home, all roads lead to Rome, that type of idea. Like you cannot not get it right. You are going to end up at your destination. So if you start trusting the process a little bit and start to actually allow yourself to be in the world, and here's one analogy I've been using a lot recently. You have this inspiration, and it's like you put a bow in the arrow and you pull it back and you're ready to like launch your creation in, and then it's like, well, what if I accidentally hit a tree and hurt it? What if it falls over here? What if it goes over there? What if it doesn't even come close to what I have in my mind as an idea of how this should turn out? And then we take the tension off, we put the arrow back in, and we never launch our inspiration into the world. We don't even give it a chance to take flight. And that's the thing with the Fool energy. It's like trust and know that when you have an inspiration from spirit, like follow it, like really follow it. And that goes into line with like this Queen of Wands. This is the Queen of Wands is like all queens are thought. Specifically, the Queens of Thought or Queen of Wands is like a higher harmonic of thought. It's like this is like the perceiving and the knowing. It's like this is the card of like that you know that you know. And we have those moments. We have the still small voice within that inspires us to take action and to start doing things in the world, being things in the world that precipitate change. And the greatest gift you can be to the world is to be 100% the authentic you, no matter how much you're being judged for it. Like in the original artwork, there is no real original artwork. Spirit finally led me down to a place where I know like there was just a whole bunch of inspiration at once and it just kind of melds together. But a lot of times there's like this dog and it represents society like kind of snipping at the heels of the Fool, and it's kind of the judgment of like, hey, dum dum, you're come over here with us where we're like all figuring out the world and being a cog in the machine, and the Fool's like, no, I'm gonna march to the beat of my own drum and everything's gonna be fine. That's the kind of the energy, like just trust and know that you're gonna get there. And the Queen and the passion is like allowing that to really be your guiding compass. And here's the one thing, like if you're not sure, like, well, how do I know what is an inspiration from the soul, and well, how do I know like what's ego, and how do I know like if I'm picking up somebody else's thought or things like that? What's true for you will make you feel lighter. This is a tool from Access Consciousness. If I choose this, how does my life feel in 5 years? Heavy or light? Now, already we're doing that. We're taking ourselves into thinking. But while you're developing the tools to trust your knowing and to follow that, like if you're going to look at muscle testing I really promote the tool Heavy and Light. It's by far, I think, the greatest. You put it out on a trajectory of 5 years. In 5 years, how does my life feel? So there was my little 3-card reading, and you can like watch me doing it live on TikTok, and you can see me. I'm just like, I don't know what to do with this. All right, but we're at 4:35, so we're going to get started with our little empowerment. Oh, let me put up a banner so people like that are scrolling by, like, what is this dude doing? Sonic Shaman. I don't know what he's doing though. Let me put up a banner. So no, I need that one for later. I don't want to cause myself issues later when I need a banner I just wrote over. So we're going to do the 222 portal empowerment. All right, so I'm going to open space. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the 222 really is about, and then we will do a little bit of an attunement. Victory and praises to the earth. Bring your healing here. Yari, mama uno, mama kocha. Burka sumak mamakia, to the water, to the ocean, to the moon. Bring your healing here. Yari Taiwantan waira, to the four winds. Yari hatan kuntar. Hatan Arpe to the great condor and eagle. And I'll explain why I want to bring those in a minute. Ompui, 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 bring your healing here. Iari Saura Kinti, the royal hummingbird. Ompui, 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 hahaya inti. Inti taita, wilki inti taita to the sun. Ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari quichikuna. Ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari pakarina itupakuna to all the masculine and feminine nature spirits of our birthplace. Ompui, 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 bring your healing here. Hahaya! Wurika! Nona Cheska to our sacred soul star of inspiration. Ompui, ompui, ompui. Iya! Wurika nona mohukoya quichi katari. First right from our soul star. Illuminate the seed within. Allow to rise within us the rainbow serpent, our unique voice in this world. Ompui, ompui, ompui. Iari wurikocha. Ompui, ompui, ompui. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So, my awareness this morning, as I was doing my morning routine, is that the real magic of today, the real magic, is that so much of the world is focused at the same time, at the same thing. And whether, time zones, this is all arbitrary that it happens to be February 22nd and all these things because we made up the months, we made up the number system, we made up time, all this stuff. Here's 222, by the way. Let's start getting that involved. And I just thought to make sure I had the right microphone on. Yeah, we got the Yeti. Cool. Just making sure because it sounds way different if I have the wrong one. But this is 222. But as I ring it and you experience the frequency of this master number, and I have found that really this number is a number of balancing. It is about balancing the perceived opposites because opposites are not opposites. Opposites are gradients. Opposites are paradoxes. So love and hate, same energy along a gradient. They look like opposite, but they're the same. One is skilled and unskilled application, distorted and not distorted, but along the same thing. There's only oneness. We have illusions of opposites, but it's all the same. And being able to be that midpoint, and I'm going to give a credo here for Rishi's Metaphysical Institute, adding in the Om frequencies. Sorry if that was a little louder than I thought. It is our desire to sit calmly upon the throne in the temple of our own body, between the two great pillars of positive and negative vibration, balancing them to the point where we can radiate through our temple of light to all whom we contact the wonderful peace, poise, power, wisdom, love, and harmony of God. Sitting upon the throne in the temple of your own body. What would it take for you and your body to be in total communion with one another? Your body's like your best friend. It's been with you since the beginning. Since your first breath, it will be there till your last. You're never alone. What would it take for you to be in complete communion with your body and for you to co-create in this reality with your body? Everything that doesn't allow that, are you willing to receive something different? Receive it now. Whatever it takes. Anyway, so many people today are doing so many meditations. So for a moment, while I activate these tones again, think about and connect with all the other people in this entire reality and parallel realities that are close enough to also have significance around 222 portal. Connect with it all. Feel the morphic field of creation. Feel the morphic field of the kingdom of we, of what we could actually do as a species if we actually came together and recognized the concept of namaste. May the God in me greet the God in thee for the highest good. What would our world look like? Feel that. And now just get a glimpse of yourself 5 years from now, 1 year from now, 6 months from now, a little glimpse of who you're becoming in the future. As I also call in your soul star, Wilika Nuna Cheska, my sacred soul star of inspiration. Ompui, 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 bring your healing here. Ia, Muhukoya, illuminate the seed within. Kuichi Katari, the rainbow serpent, allow my unique voice in this world to rise up. using the morphic field of all this collective intention through our reality and similar realities to empower your declaration to the universe of who you're choosing to be in this moment. That's what it's about. What would it take for you to be the 100% authentic you came to be? And now, from that space, how many amazing ways can the universe bring you experiences to express that beingness? Because it's not about doing, it's about being. We got it backwards. I need to do the thing to have a job, to have the thing they call money, to be the thing they call secure. No, beautiful friends, it is all about being. What would it take for you to be you? Very good. All right. And now, having that anchored, having gotten a glimpse of yourself 5 years from now, just going to grab a different toy. At least I hope so. I don't see my wand all of a sudden. Oh, I see it now. Had to get around a camera. And also connect with Crystal Skull M. She just called out that she needs to be in the camera shot. So know that there's some amazing beings of light that are all holding space for us to do this work. Again, tapping in that morphic field, a vision of having you. Allow yourself to be imprinted with that vibration of your uniqueness, that purity of who you could be in this world if it were unencumbered about other people's judgments or your own judgments of how you showed up. And I just realized I never put up the banner. Sacred play, brother and sister. Don't take life too seriously. Nike. And with each hit of this pyramid, our intention is whatever energies aren't serving us, allow to go through the little mini portals being created by the sound, being redistributed throughout the cosmos of creation, throughout reality's planes and dimensions, to where your heaviness might be light for another being of consciousness. And at the same time, allowing yourself to receive energies from elsewhere in the cosmos that is light for you and what you're choosing to be in this world and who you're choosing to be in this world. Very, very good. Just another moment. And my challenge to you today, invitation, my invitation for you. Well, one, if it feels like, share this video and really recommend someone to go through it. But aside that, sit with just one other human being, one other element of consciousness. And for 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes and 22 seconds, just sit in complete allowance of oneself, complete allowance of the world, complete allowance of everything that shows up. This is stripping away all the judgment that we have about what we see in the world. And from that place of allowance, then ask the question, who do I choose to be in creationship? Creationship, not relationship, creationship to that. And see what inspirations you might have. But if we all did that just for 2 minutes, what world would we be creating? Very good. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and actually I want to do the tuning forks one more time because I feel it's relevant. So here is, we want to do, we're adding in a organ apparently, pineal gland. Cutting chords. By cutting chords, let's change that to cleaning chords. I had an awareness the other day while channeling that you're connected to everything. So like, how are you going to cut off a cord? It's like, in my reality, it doesn't work anymore. So it's more about cleansing the cords. And, if it's like a water line that got polluted, like let's clean up the water line. But we're all divinity. How are you going to, like, you can't cut yourself off from part of you. So it's like, I'm going to cut the cord to my arm. No, don't do that. Like, we're going to clean the pipes. But I believe that everybody's cutting cords out there. That's really what they're intending. It's just like some of my spirits are very literal. We get along well. Oh, very good. Amber was just saying that she had grabbed one of her little skulls, and it wanted to be in the frame at the same time my skull. They probably wanted to meet. Oh wow, look at that! They're like skull pen pals now. So this is the pineal gland activating like your center of awareness, psychic awareness, and we have 222 as well. And then I brought one other. This is 1111. Is that it? I think that's it. Oh no, we have one more. We have 3 ohms to do at the end. 3 ohms. Very good. Oh, there's one more skull that wants to make an appearance. So this is one of my newest acquisitions. Amber, you'll love this. This is a tiger eye skull. I named him Pebbles because he's got these little stones that are stuck in the crevice of that carving. And I imagine it like dropping a pebble of awareness into a pond and how it has a ripple effect. Like it's like once have a knowing of something, you can never unknow it. It changes you. It changes the very essence of who you are, even though as much as you try to forget, like you can never unknow it. Like in AA, we have a saying, it's like once a pickle or a cucumber becomes a pickle, it can't go back to being a cucumber. It's like you can't, once you have a knowing, you can be like the dude from the Matrix and want to get plugged back in, but like truly, like you're never going to unknow what you know. So that's Pebbles. Whew, very good. All right. And final tuning fork combination. This is 3 different frequencies of ohm, all higher frequencies. So like 136.1 is the standard ohm for the planet. And then these are like different octaves above that. So it's like 2 octaves above that, and then so on and so forth. So 355.5, 1088, 54.4. So high heart. Actually, high heart, that's a different frequency. But anyway, I'm a sound nerd. Connect with the mother. I saw an amazing, well, a 1 minute video. It was talking about our bodies and how many different elements it is and how many gallons of water it is and how the encoding to create that body all comes from a little thing of DNA that's small enough to sit inside a sperm. Like really the magic of life. And we are the earth. We are built from the earth. Pachamama. She's our mother. So connecting with her right now, we're calling in Mama Nuknu, mother's milk. Just feet firmly planted on the floor. Doesn't matter if you're on the first floor, second floor, 10th floor, if you're on the space, it doesn't matter, man. Just like connect your feet to the floor and connect with the earth, our beloved Pachamama, we call it in Quechua. And allow whatever flavor of energy is the most appropriate for you in this moment to effortlessly enter into the left or the right foot. You pick whatever's creating the most for you. I'm doing my left foot. You can do the right foot, whatever is going to create the most for you. Or if you feel like putting your hands on the earth and bringing it through your hand would create more for you. If you feel like getting on and putting your navel to the earth, whatever's going to create the most for you, be open to the possibility that you know better than me. Connect to the earth and allow energy to flow in from the earth through one point. And as it swirls throughout your body, your being, and beyond, allow it to take anything dense, heavy, or stagnant that does not serve the infinite you came to be to move effortlessly out of your body, out of your being, and go back to the earth through a different point or the same point, if that's how you roll. What we're creating is something I also like to refer to as empath dialysis. One energy coming in, going throughout the totality of you, going out, taking out all. Talk about cleaning up pollution. We're cleaning up our energy pollution of our own being and body. And it's not like we're just getting rid of it. We know that this is fertilizer for the earth. These heavy energies, she knows what to do with them, to cultivate them, to lighten them up, to give us back blessings. Mama Nuknu, umpwe, umpwe, umpwe. Very good. And the other trick to this, as you flow this energy, know that from second to second, from minute to minute, as you change, the frequency of the milk can change. It's not a static frequency. like Reiki energy. Who says that's like one vibration? It's like an infinite number of vibrations. Reiki healing is being the hollow bone to allow whatever vibration is required to come through you and not have a point of view if you've ever been explicitly taught it, just knowing and trusting that whatever is required is going to flow. That's healing. Actually, that's even a limitation on what healing is, because healing is not always a cure. Sometimes it's simply a shift of point of view. I love the acronym for healing, helping everyone appreciate life. Sometimes that does not mean a cure. Sometimes it means helping someone transition. Anyway, but there's our ohms. And finally, because I'm feeling we need to do a kanchai. So let me grab my hand bowl, conveniently located just off camera. Ta-da! I'm going to chant Kanchai 3 times. As I do this, we're bringing light in from the Hanak Pacha of the upper world, bring it down through the crown, allow it to flow throughout the totality of your being, filling in all the spaces with this beautiful light from the upper world. Kanchai. 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 And thanking our spirits, Pachamama Anaiki. Mama Aipa, Sachamama Anaiki. Iari Mama Kocha, Mama Unu, Mama Kia Anaiki. Iari Taiwantan Waira Anaiki. Oh, I forgot about telling you about the eagle and the condor in a moment. Hatan Kuntar, Arpe, Anaiki, Sarokinte, Anaiki, Iari. Inti taita wilki inti taita anaiki iari kuichi kuna anaiki iari pakarina itopukuna anaiki iari wilka nuna chaska kuna anaiki iari wilkocha anaiki. So they have this whole story of the Pachacuti, which means world turned upside down, and this time of prophecy that happened some years ago, where you're in the midst of the Pachacuti now. So, like, it tells you why. One of the purposes of the world being the way it is because literally everything gets flipped upside down and things kind of settle. And it's when the Karo started teaching their tradition to the children of the North. But there's this prophecy of the children, the condor and the eagle, two birds of war flying together in peace. And it is a reference of really like the northern and the southern traditions coming together. And some years ago, like 1 year ago, maybe two, I don't know, times though it just blends together so much. I like in the northern traditions, and the one I'm speaking of right now is Lakota. Like, you do not mix ceremonies, like, ever. It would be like totally a no-go for me to come up and do like something in their ceremony or anything like that. But here I find myself in Lilydale teaching a class on shamanism, having built a despacho. And I was invited to a sweat lodge, and I asked the lady who invited me, well, check with the person pouring the lodge and see if it's okay if perhaps I offer a blessing with the despacho and I burn the despacho on the fire for the lodge. Normally, no. And in fact, they said no. They said, absolutely not. We don't mix ceremonies. And I went to it anyway, and I had the despacho, and I talked to the facilitator, to the person who was pouring, and I explained a little bit about the tradition, what a despacho was, and the blessing, and that it needed to be burned in a sacred way, 24 hours for making it. And I asked again, and he said, it was a no yesterday when the lady had asked. He's like, but seeing you now and hearing it from you, yes, you can. And so I offered this blessing to people before they got into the lodge, and we ended up adding it to the fire and burning it. And as we went around in the sweat lodge, there's a couple different ways to do it, but in this particular one, there was 4 rounds. And during one of the rounds, we were able to speak of something we're grateful for. And I shared this prophecy and how I looked at this ability to bring this little Southern tradition from the Karo and being able to mix it with a Lakota sweat lodge was a sign for me, and I hope for you, that the time is coming where the birds of war are flying together, the northern and southern traditions combining. And that was a smaller part of a bigger prophecy of the rainbow tribe of man coming together again. And that's really the time that we're in. Like, we are coming into this kingdom of we energy and really looking at each other and saying, Namaste. May the God in me greet the God in thee for the highest good. We're all one and we're all separate. Both are true. Greatest truths of paradoxes. And we have a couple people commenting. Yeah, if you have questions at this point, like, I'm done with the sound and everything. I really appreciate, I saw a lot of you hung out the whole time, which is awesome. Um, while I still have you, keep in mind I have a YouTube channel. I didn't post a link because I was doing this way off the cuff. But if the Sonic Shaman on YouTube, I've been doing videos every day on TikTok. I'm like over 1,300 followers there now. I actually did my first live there earlier. It's like where I have my biggest following right now. So like, if you want to see more content more often, I'm posting every day on TikTok, like 3 videos a day or whatnot, and then YouTube a little bit too. Facebook not as much. But anyway, so if you want to see more of me, like, that's where I'm kind of hanging out a little bit more. But we had Amber saying, ooh, I think to when she saw the new skull. And Valerie was saying, today is heavy, feeling all the feels. And when you do feel people, like, one, go back and rewatch the Mama Nuknu part if you missed it. I don't know when you hopped in. But the thing that sticks us as empaths and Awarians is when you have a sense of somebody else's energy, when you label it, when you judge it as something, then you kind of own it a little bit. So like, there's a saying of, be the hollow bone, be aware of the energy, don't judge it. And I use the example of a computer. Your computer does not judge the data on the hard drive. Money doesn't judge what you spend it for or on. There's all these things that we add significance to from our judgments of our lenses and our filters, but the computer, money, other things that are tools for us don't have a point of view. We're the ones imposing a limitation. So keeping that in mind, do your best to stay in the energy of being an Awarian versus empath. Empath has a lot of charge for me. Like, I've been looking more Awarian, like, what would it take to be aware of the data without judging it? And if you're in the group, I see like people like here. Yes, thank you so much. You're helping me a lot with this. When you're in the group, if you want me to know your name, you got to like tell me. There's like a link where you can give StreamYard permission, and then I can see who you are. There's a couple people saying, hi, Hank, but I don't know who you are. Like, I did miss it. I'll watch it later. Absolutely. Like, go back. It's going to be on the YouTube channel. I might trim out the beginning part when I was just kind of, well, maybe I'll leave it all. I don't know. Because I talked a lot at the beginning just to give people a chance, because I normally like to give people notice that I'm going live, but it was kind of like Spirit's like, do it. I'm like, okay. And really, oh, it is you? Who's me? Yes, you're helping me. Who's me? I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for being here and for hanging out. And if you have questions or you want to interact further, I don't have to like run off right away. So, and at the very beginning of the stream, I also went into depth of my 3-card tarot reading from this morning. I've been doing like 2-card tarot pulls every day on TikTok. And then I just got an Andean. Oh gosh, this deck is so cool. I think I have it here. Let me see. Because, I never thought I would be a tarot reader, but then someone I know said, you should learn tarot so we can like have a common dialogue about stuff. And I learned it in like a week. I think I've done it in a past life. And I just took to it like a fish to water. It is so amazing. I love it so much. Maybe I don't have it here. Let's see. Oh, there it is. So this is Melissa Sunwater. Thank you so much for being here. Val's there. Becky May, Hank, a Nike, Kuwaiki, Willikan Penny Chai, which is thank you, I love you, Sacred Soul Sister. To all of you, really, sacred brothers and sisters on the path. And we have Michelle touching in also from Fellowships of the Spirit. That is where a lot of my training came from mediumship and all that good stuff. They have an amazing program called Spiritual Insight Training. Even if you don't want to be a medium, like it's like getting your map quest for life, like now you have Google Maps and you can navigate a lot easier. So like I highly recommend that. But it's like a card for Andean healing. And so you can imagine Karo tradition approved, but here's like one for Pachamama. I'll just read one. We're not going to go through them all. But are you feeling unconditionally loved at this very moment? This is really so timely and appropriate, right? Because we were talking about how you are the earth. So let's really settle in, because this is not just random anymore. This is like part of this. So here's Pachamama. Are you feeling unconditionally loved at this very moment? Allow Pachamama to help you. Take a look out the window. There she is, your true mother. She gives you everything you require. Every bite of food, every drop you drink, wonderful homes, beautiful places to go, amazing people to love. You are her beloved child. She loves you no matter what you do. Oh my goodness. Go for a walk. Take in all that she has for you. Sit in her lap and say, "Thank you, Mama." It helps you to remember how loved you are. And as you love the earth, remember I said you are the earth. So maybe a practice of love for nature, love for our beloved Pachamama, is an extension of you loving you. Think about that. Wow. Anyway, anything else? Anybody have questions or comments or anything they'd like to contribute? How has your 222 portal day gone? Got some hearts going on. Thank you. I will get back to live. I do enjoy live streaming. I've only live streamed like 3 times on my own in like a year. Like I was going through, still at the tail end, some major shadow upheaval, man. I had my own personal Pachacuti. And I think at 43, you actually do have a midlife crisis, man. Like, yeah, like my whole world was like changed for the better in the end. But like there's some times in the middle, it's like, whoa, like what's going on in my life? But like things are really good. Things are really good. And part of that is like being able to surrender to the inspiration of spirit. And when your life path and your like choices are lining up, you have a lot more ease. And what was really occurring is I was going this way, but my soul's like, I want to go this way. And then there became an alignment, and that alignment of changing tracks to get back on track was my midlife crisis. Yeah, 43 has been a big shift for me also. Like there's a really legit thing with like Pluto, like something that goes along with Pluto. Someone could tell us. She's more of an astrologer than me. Something about some astrological event that happens with your sun sign like 43 years in. I think it has to do with Pluto, which is really like I call Pluto like the plunger energy. It's like what trudges up everything. Oh my god. So when I do tuning fork healings, I have planet sets, and I will use like Pluto with the sun in opposition to illuminate, the heaviness and like help get things out. And this is Val again. Cool, thank you. I know a lot of Val, so I'm assuming like Valerie Beck, maybe. I don't know. And we have Becky, day of intense shadow work, realizing absolutely. And watch out for by my birthday, like it's so close to being done. I have been writing this book. Well, it's a program. It's called As I Forgive Me, and it is a shadow integration program. And each thing of As I Forgive Me is an acronym. So it's like you have allowance, and you have surrender, and you have identification, and you have emulation, and there's like all these things, but it's a recipe to be in allowance of you and everything around you. Because like whatever part of you are hiding, that is the thing that you need to love the most. Like love the totality of you. Like I know we have shame, blame, regret, remorse, all these things, but what if like at that moment you always picked 100% the thing that you felt was the greatest choice in the moment? And all those things are beautiful contrast for the soul. The trauma and the drama was the pressure that created the diamond or the pearl, or pick your other precious jewel. Like it had purpose. But then after it served its purpose, we head trip and live fragmented in the past or the future instead of showing up for the now. And instead of choosing who we're going to be, we're too busy figuring out, I can't be this because of that, when that is really the contrast for you to know who you're being. So it's really a paradoxical thing. You being in allowance and in total loving of all your choices is paramount, and you actually knowing yourself, because you couldn't know yourself experientially if you didn't have all that contrast. Becky says, the phoenix rises. Yes. And yeah, it's really good. Valerie Beck, I'm a stuck Facebook user. That's funny. Oh, yeah. Today, yes, that is a whole nother thing of astrological wonderment. So in the finance house of the United States is having a Pluto return. What does this mean? it depends how conscious the country is. Unconsciously, when you have a return like this is the rise and fall of empires. And destroy and create everything that brings up or lets down. Like, I'm not looking to create fear or anything like that, because the world is more conscious than it ever has been before. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like trauma and drama and, oh, the world's ending or anything like that. But what it is the energy is prime for the shadows of this country to be illuminated, and for them to really step into ownership of everything. Let's see. Oops. Someone's just messaging me. I misspelled something. That's funny. Obviously, they don't know I'm streaming. I should close out Facebook. But anyhow, it's like the energy is prime, and we hopefully can consciously look at it as a species. There are more people conscious on the planet than any time before. So, like, truly, like, what would it be like as we do our shadow work and we honor the mother and everything? What would it be for us to come together as a collective on the city level, on the state level, on the country level, on the world level, to like really like what's not working in the world? That's one thing I love about Access Consciousness. Like, they literally rewrite their manual every year based on what's showing up in the world, based on the questions asked in class. They read through the manual, what's reading, what's not reading. Like, what would it look like if our government, like, every year, like, recreated itself based on what was required? But instead, like, they designed it on purpose to be very slow moving, and that served us for a while. It's not serving us anymore. What would it take? Somebody said, an amazing time to be alive. Yes, like, if you feel fearful of the world, let's take an acronym here of fear. I have many acronyms for fear, but my favorite one is feeling excited and ready. None of us are here by accident. We are all here in this auspicious moment of now because we all have a medicine and a gift to contribute to the world that is being birthed right now. And you are like a gift to that. You're here because you have a medicine to offer. So, like, what would it take for you to be an allowance of you and non-judgment of you, so you were not living in fear of sharing your unique gift? Because you all have a medicine, 100% guarantee it. Because otherwise you wouldn't be here, and you sure as heck wouldn't be watching me. Because the only people who find me are people who are really looking to change and to step into their beingness in this world. And if they aren't looking for it and they run across me, then something gets planted and they end up, they come around quickly afterwards. But I love all the interaction. Thank you so much for chatting with me and everything. I really ought to do it more often. I've missed this. Like, I have not done it much. I stream with Dr. K every Monday, and with Heather McMillan quite a bit for Access Consciousness, but just me. It's been long overdue. So thanks for, especially with like no notice. And I see most of you are watching on Facebook. There is like a YouTube channel too. The Sonic Shaman is where I'm streaming mostly. There's Emergence of Being YouTube, Sonic Shaman YouTube. Sonic Shaman is 90% of my content. And I have like, it's really been going since I've been doing TikToks. Like, my subscriber base, I'm nearing 1,000 there too. It's like, holy crap, my watch time in 1 month is more than the entire longevity of my channel, because there's just been so much more people watching. So maybe I'm showing up and people are showing up to watch me. So let me see. There's 2 more skulls we can introduce to you, since like we're just talking randomly. This is Rose, and it's a he. And ironically, this skull, Melissa Wiles, Goddess Elite owner, she was at a show somewhere, and she rarely sends me pictures of stones, but she sends me this, and she says, I think you might be interested in this one. And I took one look. I'm like, yeah. So I ended up getting it, and then it told me its name is Rose, but it's a male skull. And about 2 months later, someone came into my life named Rose, and it's a guy. So it's like, holy crap! Like, but this particular skull is exceptional at targeting like original wounds and like in shadow integration. Like, this is a shadow work skull, so like it's super cool. And then we have Zorgen, which is my Nokami Inca piece. And he's a little bit green, so he might blend in with the green screen. No, I can see him. But this is my Inca embodiment piece. Like, it's your unique voice in this world. And so that's my skull that sits in my mesa in the lower right-hand corner. And you've already met M, but we'll show M again. Haha, this is such a cool skull. Man, it almost looks fake. The way it blends, it's so optically clear, you can see the background like through it. Holy crap. That's really cool. Let's light it up. There's not all of them are so translucent, but this is an amazing piece. You can tell I had the green screen in the background, right? This light was going through, but there you go. Lime. Cool. Any final questions, comments? Someone's blowing up my inbox. Oh, cool. Yeah, so like on other news, I won't like give the name right now, but me and Nanette got together. We started teaching Reiki classes together. She has the YouTube channel Radiant Reiki, which is also amazing. And we got together and taught a class, and everybody after the class said, "Well, whatever that was, it was like way more than what we thought we were getting when we signed up for Reiki." And we actually have coined our own term for a type of healing modality. So we're having Reiki in the name, but we have an African name, and it means like the bringer of the light or the instiller of life, that type of thing. And it's like we're designing it to be taught. So you have the elements of Reiki, because Reiki is God guided life energy through the lenses of it's just being discovered in Japan. And this is more like with no lenses, like what is healing? And here's all the tools to access healing in different ways, earth healing, more interdimensional healing, and really teaching it in a way that you can then come to your own awarenesses and uses of it. So it's going to be really cool. Someone said, can't wait to watch the beginning of this. Oh yeah, like this has been so much fun. Oh my gosh, got to do it more often. So, oh, in other words, it feels really appropriate to announce this here. My location is moving. I'm no longer going to be located next to the metaphysical store Goddess Elite. There is a chiropractic office that I was able to. I'm basically moving into a build to suit location. I have doubled the actual office space. So I have way more room to spread out my bowls. I have access to a conference room for classes and a really big space for classes. But like it's just it's such a huge opportunity, and they have a huge volume of people coming through every day. Like 270 people a week go through this place, and with the expansion, their target is going to be like triple that in the near future. So I'm going to be in Westlake still, or not still. I'm in North Homestead now, moving to Westlake. I do believe I already have it lined up that there's going to be other folks running the space. So the center itself isn't going away. I'm just not going to be there. So it's a really cool shift of energy for me. And I'm really, that was the saddest part, is like there's so much energy that went into creating that space for nurturing and everything. I'm going to change my background. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to change my background to my center space. This is me with my crystal bowl set up for a concert. So like that's the space. Oh, here's another one. You can see it like from the front desk. So that's the space, like these amazing floors, 3 offices. Like we've had so many classes there. I just hosted a 4-day class. It's like super amazing. And that was the only sad thing. Like there was like this great excitement about moving. And then there was like the sadness that this has become like such a community thing. We have like practitioner shares like every week and clinics every month. And it's like, oh, it's kind of sad, but now like it's still going to be that, and probably more, because it's time for me to not be behind a brand. Like my new sign is going to be Hank Settle, the Sonic Shaman, and I'm not behind HHH, and I'm not behind Emergence of Being, though I am taking Emergence of Being, and that is going to be one of the things I'm doing as an Emergence of Being coach. And so giving people tools and processes and helping them to really spring into who they came to be in this world. And let's see, physical classes for the new healing modality. Yes, there will be physical classes, though we did just film, and we're filming again next Tuesday, I think. Not that you care about when filming, but like we already have like a whole day of content creation where we are making it available as a take it at your own pace modality. But we do want to teach it in person and in person as well. So it's going to be offered both ways. And same thing, As I Forgive Me is going to be an 8-part Zoom series. I did it as a 1-day class, and my biggest feedback from the class is this is not a 1-day class. Our heads are exploding. It's all really good information, but we need to spread the shit out. So like it's going to be probably a 2-day class, and it'll be a week in between, because there's a lot of exercises and journaling and things like that that need to be done for that, because it's really taking an authentic look at what's sticking you, and then going through a process and tools of getting unstuck. So actually, I wonder if I have it. Do I have this loaded? I had like a teaser video that I made for it. If I have it, I'll play it real quick. Oh, you know what? I know where it is. Bear with me. Video file. I know I have it. It's like so cool. Like, and here's another fun story. Recently, I was Seven had a journey circle, and she has another one coming up. It's going to be March 4th. It's a Friday. 7 o'clock, she's doing a drumming circle. And I haven't done a drumming circle in like 10 years before this. And we had women, like me and Magic Mike were the only guys. I felt like I got to crash a women's circle. It was so freaking magical, like what people were sharing in the class and how what people were seeing was interweaving with each other. But anyway, I had like a profound experience, which is a video for another day. But the next day, like this one poet passed away. Not poet, it was a Buddhist monk, but he wrote a lot of poems. And at Fellowships of the Spirit, and Michelle, you might, I think you've taken Monkey. You might have seen the poem. There was what's his name, Nintuk Nun, and he had written a poem, and Mark Thomas posted this poem in the group, and it was so moving and captivating that I was like, oh my god, I have to honor this guy. And I learned video editing in a day. I've been resisting video editing for so long, and then I just like learned it in a day because it was really amazing. Okay, but I did find As I Forgive Me. Wait, I just saw it. Ah, I wait a lot of videos on my computer. I just saw it. Let's do Forgive. Okay, here we go. So this is like 2 minutes long. Let me play this. And actually, before I do that, no, let's. I have so much things I want to show you now. Let me do this first. Oh, I know. Let me switch studios. I had this uploaded in for Dr. K because this poem is freaking amazing. So like we should play that first because it leads to this next thing I want to show you. Emergency being. I'm in a different studio now, and oh come on. Apparently. Okay, I know what I'll do. I will bring it up on my YouTube channel and just share it. I can't get dinged for sharing my own video, can I? I don't think so. It's so funny though. They probably could be all anti that. Videos. Wow, I have posted a lot in the last days. Oh, the other thing, like if you haven't been following me on my YouTube channel, on the new moon and the full moon, I do a Tree of Life reading, and a Tree of Life reading is a 10 card reading. I do. Oh, here's the video. Oh, hold on. So I just heard people come home, and I just wanted to let them know I was still streaming, but I will wrap it up after this. Okay. I found the video for the poem. This is really cool. So let me bring this up. Oh, I'm so excited about this. Okay, so now I need to share a. It's been a long time since I had to do a file share. So share screen. We want to do a Chrome tab. We want to do the poem, and we want to enable audio. Hey, I'm Matt from Pila, and I want to introduce you. A poem by Tim. Okay, we got it now. Haha. I love technology so much. This is so cool. All right, so here we go. Oh, let me blow it up first, though. Ta-da. Let me know if you can't hear it. It should play the audio if I did this right, but if I didn't, then please let me know. Here we go. Oh, I had to hit play. That helps.
Honor his life. This body is not me. I am not limited by this body. I am life without boundaries. I have never been born, and I shall never die. Look at the ocean and the sky filled with stars, manifestations from the wondrous true mind. Since before time I have been free. Birth and death are only doors through which we pass, sacred thresholds on our journey. Birth and death are a game of hide and seek, so laugh with me. Hold my hand. Let us say goodbye. Say goodbye to meet again soon. We meet today. We will meet again tomorrow. We will meet at the source every moment. We meet each other in all forms of life.
So there you go. So like I learned video editing in a day because I wanted to honor that guy's life, because that poem like totally encapsulated everything I experienced in that drumming circle. And it was like between that and finding this one channeler named Bashar, it's like these two people just entered my world that totally changed everything. And the final thing I'll show you, this encapsulates As I Forgive Me. And it's really phenomenal. So here is this. Yourself frozen in your day to day experience, not actually able to make a choice from a place of awareness, reacting through life instead of responding through conscious choice. Are you relying on your autopilot to get you through each day? As children, we are often taught not to be in favor of another person's judgment. Stop acting out. Everyone is staring. What will the neighbors think? Do any of these sound familiar? We are taught that we are separate from everything, and that it is a risk to receive kindness because we don't know someone's true motives. In other words, we are taught not to receive. We are taught that the only one that we can count on is us, and we develop a victim mentality of life, experiencing life happening to us instead of through us. We are taught to be a cog in the machine of the world. As we empower people's judgments, we are taught that having feelings of anger, hate, remorse, and guilt are wrong. That if we feel these things, there's something wrong with us. This cannot be further from the truth. The As I Forgive Me workshop is about taking down the brick wall between us and the divine, between us and our higher selves. Through a series of exercises, we identify the bricks and the substance of your wall. Through a process, we loosen the mortar, and we then integrate, transmute, and transform what once was a limitation into fuel for our future possibilities. What if the greatest gift you could be to the world is to be 100% the authentic you? What if you being you would inspire others to follow their unique voice as well? Join me for this experiential workshop and get the tools to be in the world but not of it, and allow life to happen through you in creationship with your fellow travelers. What would it take to choose? If not you, who? If not now, when? There you go. And how appropriate ending the stream on that note, that today, 222, it was about what are you looking to create in the world, using the morphic field of everybody's collective intent and using that to propel you. I have a corny rhyme I've been using, like you surf the wave of creation to your destination, and you're using the collective consciousness of so many people putting intentions in the world and kind of riding that to create whatever it is that you would like to show up in your reality. And on a final note, really, when you do this, when you make your declaration to creation, I like that crime, that rhyme too, and you make your declaration to creation, it is, that it's going to show up, but don't have a point of view about how it shows up. Like oftentimes we might say we would like to create this, but we're only willing to receive it if it shows up this way. So it's really, you're looking to create this energy, but how it shows up, that's up to the universe. It's your job to say, I'm choosing to create this experience, this opportunity to express my beingness in the world, and the opportunity and how that shows up for you to be an expression that could be anything. And I give the example you put out for the universe for abundance, but in your mind, your only definition of abundance is through money, through a paycheck. There's a very limited way that the universe can bring you abundance, but in the infinite possibilities of really what is possible, what is abundance? It's way more than money. Abundance is your ability to receive everything from all aspects of consciousness, judge none of it, and repurpose it as you receive it to whatever it is that you can actually use it for. Anyway, that's kind of wordy, but with that, final question. I'm over an hour now. I guess I can't put this on Instagram. I'll have to edit it down. But anyway, so happy for you from a random Facebook user. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Michelle, oh yeah, we already did that one. I just was not up to date on my messages, but thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all hanging out. Most of you hung out for a lot of the time. I'll play my little blooming flower. Actually, the emergence of being opening flower. I'll end with this. Thank you so much. And I look forward to being live a lot more often. Have a good one. Bye, everyone.